A big annual drop date. A big annual update is dropped for Lemonade. There's a lot of good stuff to look at in this report, but I also wanted to take a more sober look at the current stock price as we stand. This is my third video on Lemonade, and I'm going to be taking a bit more of a broad kind of look at the results. If you want to learn more about the company, specifically what makes them really good, what makes them really special, click up here. Check it out. Here we have the 1-year price chart. Back in our video in November, the price was between 40 and 60-ish bucks, where I really like the stock. Since then, it looks like it peaked above 186 bucks and has since then settled down to about 130. So we've seen a lot of drama in the stock price, probably unmerited amounts of drama. But let's take a look at this quarterly report to see kind of how the company's doing and what their prospects are for going forward. Check it out. Here is the image they showed us at the top of the report. 1 million customers. They've passed 1 million customers, which is a 56% year-over-year gain, showing just how quickly they're growing. Lemonade really specializes in targeting younger insurance people who haven't developed loyalty to any particular insurance company, and they typically start them out with renter's insurance and more recently pet insurance. They also started to offer life insurance, as I predicted in the last video, and they're going to be increasingly offering more different types of insurance too. Should also mention, I used to be an insurance agent in California, and I really like the insurance business model, and so does everybody's favorite ultra long-term investor, Warren Buffett, who got basically started on his road to being the king of long-term investing with insurance as well. But going back to the chart where they mentioned 1 million customers, they mentioned that it took USAA, another large insurance company, over 47 years to reach 1 million clients. So they're saying their growth rate is 5 to 10x a lot of the other really large players right now. So they're kind of flexing, saying, look out, we're going to be continuing to grow big time in the coming years. Going back to the chart, they showed an increase of 20% year over year in premium per customer, up to 213 bucks. And they also showed an 87% year over year growth in in-force premium, up to 213 million. In-force premium, simply put, is like if you take the amount of insurance premium all of their customers are paying and multiply that over a year. So even if they joined like December 31st, it would still be counted in that year. They annualize how much they're paying. And so they're saying we almost doubled our in-force premium last year. Moving on to this chart, it shows their growing gross earned premium, up 92% year over year to 50 million. And another key measurement to look at when judging insurance companies is the gross loss ratio. Lemonade is using very high-tech means of not only determining loss ratios going forward, but also evaluating their potential clients and current clients to figure out how risky they are. And so they have been claiming for a while, and this is kind of the proof in the pudding, showing that their annual gross loss ratio is going down. A year ago, it was 79%, and now it's down to 71%. This is really significant because typically first-year policyholders are much more likely to file a claim on an insurance than any other year after that. And in Lemonade's case, like almost all of their policyholders are in their first year, especially when looking at their new policies like pet policies. And so they're going to be coming out with more and more different types of insurance. So keep that in mind over the coming years. If you see this number kind of staying up in the 70s, 80s-ish range, it will settle down over the coming years because everything is new right now. And so all of these key performance metrics are looking really good for Lemonade. Do these sales numbers merit their current market cap? I also wanted to take a look at some of the other numbers that they mentioned. They did another stock offering just recently that brought in another $640 million into the company, leaving their cash balance at about $1.2 billion, which is really good to see, especially with all the drama going on in Texas with the storm. But they didn't take this move just to shore up their cash position for a rainy day, or in Texas's case, a blizzardy day. They did it so that they could continue their rapid growth and build up their teams and build out their offerings. They also went ahead and mentioned a really drastic improvement in marketing efficiency. So every time a company tries to get a new client, there are costs associated with that, right? So for insurance, typically like you watch the Super Bowl or you watch football, there's like State Farm insurance, State Farm marketing, or Farmers insurance or whatever. All of these advertisements are connected to the cost of acquiring a new client. They showed here, each dollar we invested in advertising in 2020 delivered 88% more in-force premium growth than in 2019. This was largely due to stronger brand awareness and a technology-driven conversion funnel that continues to get smarter. And so typically, as companies are growing, it becomes a little bit easier for them to get clients, but 88% growth compared to last year in in-force premium is like really primo. And so typically with new companies, when they're putting money into marketing, you see like a little bit of a growth going over quarters and over the years. But it looks like Lemonade is really riding that well. Also wanted to mention a gross profit increased 56%, or 2.7 million up to 7.5 million year over year. Quarterly net loss went from $2.90 per share in the fourth quarter of 2019 down to 60 cents per share in the fourth quarter of 2020. So they show us here key operating and financial metrics comparing the quarter and the entire year. And you can kind of take a quick look over this to see in numbers, a bunch of these numbers that I've been mentioning so far. But if you go on down to net loss and adjusted EBITDA, we're still seeing that they're not truly profitable yet. They also mentioned that big disaster in Texas that's ongoing. They're expecting to see a huge spike in claims this quarter, which will be reflected on the next quarterly earnings report and will pile on top of the already expected losses that they have for this quarter, which will, carry over to the entire 2021 year in which they're still expecting a loss. Last quarter's EBITDA loss was about 30 million, and they're expecting that to rise to about 40 million for this quarter. So they're basically outsourcing insurance, they call it reinsurance, to other large insurance companies. And so this number that you see here on the statement that says ceding commissions income is basically like they're getting paid for sending a bunch of insurance business to these other companies. So comparing the fourth quarter of 2019 to 2020, you see net earned premium drop significantly. It's like almost half, from 22 million down to 12 million. But you do see that ceding commissions income start. And that was something that they expected to be doing, shifting their business model to be basically outsourcing or selling that insurance to larger companies. So you got to watch out, and it's a little bit tricky to compare apples to apples with Lemonade and other larger insurance companies on a lot of these figures because of that. So if you look at the 3 months ended 2019 and 2020 total revenue and go down about 3/4 of the thing down, net loss, the numbers aren't that different between 2019 and 2020. In fact, the loss was bigger in 2020. And then if you go down further again to the comprehensive loss, compare the total year 2019 to 2020, and the loss got bigger again. So it's easy to look at these key performance indicators and think like, wow, Lemonade's doing really, really good. But if you look at the numbers and see that the loss really isn't like shrinking, it can be a little bit misleading, a little bit deceptive. So currently, after Lemonade's stock price shot up over the last couple of months, their market cap sits at about 8 billion. So on annual revenues of about 100 million and similarly sized net losses, is it worth it? It seems to be clear that a lot of this growth and a lot of this excitement has already been priced in to the current stock price. And in previous videos, I was like, yes, it's probably a good buy. I'm going to be buying Lemonade going forward at 40, 50, 60 bucks. I didn't update you guys on this when I sold most of it, when it was around 160, 180. I sold out of most of my position. I have like a little bit left, but I'm not super excited at the current price right now. It's hard to be excited about the company as a stockholder when you know the losses are going to be continuing in the coming quarters and maybe even the coming years. So really excited to hear what you guys think about Lemonade. Are you guys going to keep adding? Have you sold out? Are you going to be looking for, a buy-in target of a certain price or whatever? Looking forward to hearing you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys very much for your time. Love you and talk to you soon.